Elliot, you do a beautiful job of talking to young people about you like to separate the economy into people in instead of which generation into quartiles, the people at the very top quartile, people at the bottom quartile. And you've given a very optimistic message before on this show about how people who are in the bottom quartile still have the opportunity to move up and the things that they need to do to be able to do that. If you would, talk about that for me.
There's only a few things you have to do to become really well off in America. First thing is you have to value an education. You have to basically be willing to put in the work to get educated, to get to college, or to get to it could even be getting to some type of you become a plumber or electrician, some skill that you need. You need to put in a lot of hours. People who are rich tend to put in tons and tons of hours. People who are in the bottom quintile put in considerably fewer hours. Now, it could be because of the situation they're in, but that's what the numbers say. You have to marry somebody who has the same point of view that you do in terms of the need to work, the need to work hard, the need to put in the hours, and the need to be educated. You need to stay married, and you need to take care of yourself so you lower the probabilities that health issues take you out of the game. And that's basically all you have to do in America. Now, it's easy to say, it's tough to do, but that's what made the greatest generation the greatest generation. That's what made boomers. And I'm not sure what Gen Zs are going to take from this message, because at least from what you read in the papers, they're less fond of work than their parents and grandparents and their great-grandparents were. But essentially, it's not a trick. Get educated, get married, stay married, work hard. That's basically it.
Amen. Never have the opportunities in America been greater and more broadly available. And that is the message we need to be developing and delivering to our young people, rather than this ideology that it's out of your control and the only way you gain is by taking from somebody else, and government and politicians ought to do that for you. It's a recipe for stagnation and decline, when, thanks to the civil rights era and the rise of women's rights, opportunity in America has never been broader. And that's something we should celebrate, and the message we need to be delivering to young people.
Well, obviously, I agree with both Elliot and Bob, and I'm glad we're getting that message out here. I just got back from a trip to Mexico City. I was in Mexico City last week, had a great trip down there, visited one of the universities there, presented some research, but also had some time for sightseeing. And when you see a country that has such profound inequality and such crushing poverty like Mexico does, especially in some of the more less developed sections of Mexico City, it really makes you appreciate the opportunities and the infrastructure for getting ahead that there are and that there is in America. And so always going abroad puts a good perspective on coming back to the US, and it was no exception for me this time. And I agree with Elliot and Bob that you can get ahead in the United States if you follow these simple rules. And I was also relieved to hear Elliot's there was nothing about politics in those rules. Maybe it'd be better if we all forgot about politics for a while and just got down to leading what seems to me like a pretty happy, uncomplicated, fulfilling life.
No, I agree. It's not about politics. It's about how hard you as an individual, if you want to put forth the effort. And if you don't want to, you shouldn't expect the same returns.
Yeah, there's so much to take from this. And Henry, you first brought this up. Oftentimes, as we're going through data or information, can feel a little bit distressing and overwhelming. But, being optimistic does not mean that you avoid the problems. You have to take a look at the issues that are going on and the things that are taking place. But this is the United States of America, and the opportunity that is here it's still unprecedented. It's just unprecedented in terms of what you can do. One of the things, though, that I would point out, just that I heard from all three of you, it seems to me that this is increasingly becoming a bigger challenge. It's the oldest story on the planet, the story of Cain and Abel, where one brother brooded over the benefits that the other brother had, the fact that his sacrifices seemed to be honored more. And he brooded to the point where he destroyed both of their lives. The reality is, envy is evil. It's just that simple. And our politics, it's way underserving America today. I mean, it's way underserving the greatness of America. But the greatness of America comes from that Constitution, where a very long time ago, we decided to empower the individual over government. We gave them civil rights, equal rights, human rights, property rights, the ability to have free markets. And those things mean that you have incredible opportunity here. Sometimes you just have to put your head down and go for it. Warren Buffett, many years ago, when I was about 30 years old, I had a chance to talk to him. I was just leaving the mayor's office. I guess I was 35 or something like that. And I asked him, I said, man, there are all these problems that are going on in this country. What do you think I should do? Should I be investing now or raising money to go out and do something? He said, look, first, you live in the United States of America. Trust me. This is, if you're going to make an investment, this is the place to do it. And then he said, and second, you're young and you live in the southwestern part of the United States. He said, it's going to be even better in that portion of the country, but have faith. And part of what you have to have faith in isn't just the American economy, it's yourself and your willingness that if you do those things that Elliot said, you can find success.